guys, welcome back to my channel. I got some really rough news today about this man who played Santa at a mall that I had worked at. Years ago, I worked as kind of a Santa elf for the holiday season, and he was the Santa at this mall for years and years and years, and I found out today that he passed away. And it's weird because I wasn't friends with him past like the month or so that I worked there. I ended up quitting early because in the long run the whole thing wasn't really for me, but I worked with him for a very short time, and I didn't keep in touch with him, not even on social media. So when I heard the news, I was kind of like, I wasn't sure how to react. Obviously, I was very sad, and then I just randomly started bawling, crying, like a minute after I heard it, because I was like, "Oh, that's really sad," and he's just this person that I knew once for a little while, and then I didn't realize how deeply it affected me because it was kind of weird. He was the Santa at this mall, and when I worked there, he was like the guy. Like, kids had come year and year and year, like, to see him, and he would remember these kids. So it was just like to them, he was Santa. It was just kind of like, I was just thinking about him today, and I was thinking about what a special person I could tell that he was, even from the short time that I knew him. Because, he was Santa. He was the only Santa, so he worked such long days. And it was kind of cool because it made it like, oh, this is Santa. There wasn't just a substitute who came in, but it was also, like, I'm sure very difficult to do. But he was always so optimistic and positive, and like, I couldn't cut it for like a month. I couldn't handle the parents and like all the chaos that like consumed that time, but he was just there to make kids happy, and I just really admire that about him. And even when adults would come through, because obviously Santa's usually for kids, but this was a really great Santa setup, so adults would come through just to like take cute photos, but he didn't just like skimp on the adults. Like, he would sit there and talk to the adults, and sometimes like people would come in and they would just be like, oh, this is gonna be fun, and they would just take their photo and leave. And then I think when he started talking to them, like when I would watch, like sometimes they like didn't know what to do or say, but like a lot of times they kind of like came around, and I think he would just say really like helpful things. Like, he was really good at giving life advice, and he was just a really good listener. And I really loved how he did that. And like, he just seemed, from what I knew, like a really empathetic and like just giving soul. And there was just one particular instance with an adult. It was this woman who came through, and I think I was working the camera. Like, I was definitely like in the space when she came through, and like when she came in, like she was by herself. And I just like looked at her and I was like, oh, this woman is so weird. Like, I was like judging her based on absolutely no knowledge, like an asshole. And this woman came in and I was just like, oh, she just looks so strange and so weird. And like, she came in and was just like, hi, Santa. And I was like, oh my God, this lady, like, she's crazy. And then she sat down and Santa started talking to her, and like, you could just tell like he wasn't like judging her like I was. Like, I felt like when I saw everything happen, I was just like, oh, okay. Like, it really opened my eyes to like not just like judge somebody based on like absolutely no information, but like, he was talking to her, and like, I didn't hear everything they were saying, but he was giving her like some words of encouragement, it seemed, or words of wisdom, and you could tell like it was just something that she really needed to hear. And like, I just feel like he was that type of person who like didn't forget that like when adults came through, sometimes like sometimes they like needed just to like hear something like encouraging or some advice, or just to like know someone's listening, because as adults it's just really easy to build up all these walls and not think anybody cares, but he cared about everybody. From what I saw, he just also and just even with the kids, he just gave so much time to each kid, and like the line was always really long and the wait was always really long, but it didn't like really matter, because like once you got up there you were like getting your time. And like there was just one kid who brought The Night Before Christmas, like the actual book, and he like read it with him, like the whole thing. And you know, it was just like he wasn't like gonna be stressed about everybody wanting their turn, because he was gonna give everybody their turn, but this kid waited his turn and wanted to read this book with him, and like you could tell the parents like loved it, and it was just really, it was so special, you know. And I'm really happy that last year my best friend and I, like, I'd always thought to get Santa pictures ever since I worked there, like either with my dog, because they had like a dog night, or with my boyfriend, but he like never wanted to. And then last year my best friend was like, oh, should we do Santa pictures? And I was like, yeah, the Grove has such a good Santa. And we went and we like saw him, and it was the same thing as when I worked there. Like, you know, we took our photos, and then he was like, he basically asked us, oh, like, what do you wish for the coming year? And we like were like, I was like, a career. And you know, my friend was like, a career, and like I think she said something like a boyfriend or whatever. And he was kind of giving us advice. He was like, well, you know, with your career or with wanting a boyfriend, you could write out a list of qualities that are important for you, and you know, just write out what's really important, and then look at that list. And if you get faced with a job opportunity, if the qualities on the list don't match it, then like maybe that's not the job for you. Maybe that's not the career that you want. And like he was just like really trying to help us, and it was really sweet. And I'm really happy I went that last time, because it was the last Christmas. And I don't know, it like hit me in such a weird way today. And it was just something I wanted to share. And I think the moral of it is that I was able to kind of think back about this person and what a giving person he seemed to be, and what a like a caring person he was. Because I feel like to play Santa all through like the holiday season with very little time off, it takes a really special person. And he never like let you see him sweat. Like he was just so in it all the time. Like I just felt like he was Santa. And I just like, it really kind of like made me think about things and how I approach things, because I think sometimes it's easy to be really selfish, and it's easy to only think about yourself. And it kind of like made me rethink about a lot of stuff about how I live my life, because you know, he was a really good person, and I wouldn't have even like thought about it today, but like I heard about it, and then I was like, oh, that's really sad, he was so nice. And I was thinking about all my memories working at the Santa land, and it just kind of like really made me think about stuff. And we're all really lucky to be here, and you just never know what's gonna happen. And I'm sorry, this is such a weird, like, downer post, but I thought there were a lot of really great lessons to learn about this person, and I just kind of, it's something weird that just like hit me today, and I felt like I should share it, because, you know, I feel like from what I knew of him, he seemed like a really wonderful person, and a lot of the qualities he possesses are qualities that I would love to have as a person. And hopefully some of you may take something from kind of the little memories that I shared. Yeah, that's it. So thanks so much for watching and listening to me be really sad about Santa. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.